Good afternoon, everybody. For those of you who haven't met me, my name is James. I am the president of the British Chambers of Commerce. I am sending you a video. Why am I sending you a video? Well, I promised you guys that after 40 days I would give you a summary of my findings, and rather than sending everybody a report, because we all get reports on a daily basis, I thought I'd do a quick video which may be a bit easier to digest. So in the interest of keeping this short, my initial findings are as follows. So I spoke to the majority of the members to get some feedback over the last 40 days. I basically asked them what we could be doing better and what we've been doing well and what they want. And the feedback's been actually relatively encouraging. We could have connected a little better. But I think most people understood it was during COVID. We didn't have an executive coordinator. And I think so many people have been on calls because they were isolated, they're a bit zoomed out. So adding another call wasn't the worst thing in the world. What were we doing well and what people want? Well, there's definitely the social element, the networking, knowledge sharing amongst different members, talking and monitoring about the policies coming through from the government, the ease of doing business. Some people are members because of access to capital, or it gives their organisation a bit more credibility and gravitas, and also helps kind of identifying resourcing and can be a collective voice to the government. So once I'd kind of got some feedback, I went back to our strategy, and our strategy really falls into two areas. One is to support British investment in Sierra Leone. The other one is to support existing British business in Sierra Leone. Now, the strategy I'm going to look at a little bit later. The strategy, around support to British investment, I'm going to look at a bit later because we're working with not only economic growth team with the British High Commission, but also Invest Alone. So we're really going to focus in the short term, at least, on support to British business and making sure that we're delivering to our members. So then I had a quick look at the resource and what we have, and I was really happy to see that we've got a wealth of experience with us. So we're recruiting for an executive coordinator, and that's well underway. We've got more than 25 applicants. We then looked at the executive committee. Now, we've got a huge amount of experience there, but what I felt was that the committee maybe had been a bit amorphic. So what we wanted to do was really allocate roles and make people kind of point on the various areas. So social sector, we have David. Security concerns, we have Sean, who's obviously the country director of G4S. Investor relations, Shekhar's going to pick up, given his work with some of the impact investors. Women in leadership, will look at Amanata, who's a wonderful role model. Taxation policy will be picked up by Raymond. Treasury, Clive, and I'll be looking at the government engagement. Now, the other resources we're very lucky to have is obviously Chooks and John in the Invest Alone team, and the economic growth in the British High Commission, which will be Christina and Paul. And I think between the three of us, we'll also look at the government engagement together. So engagement across the board, what are we looking at? Well, internally, I think we want to be giving monthly updates when the executive coordinator comes on board. We want to start this WhatsApp group, which hopefully you guys are members of, and this is why you're watching the video. We want to get some networking events in the diary so everybody can block them out. Secondly, MDAs. Well, there's lots of MDAs, which everyone kind of interacts with on a monthly basis. We are looking at a project which we'll get some feedback from the membership called Fellows of the Chamber, and that's really identifying people within the ministries already who have been particularly helpful, and really just doing some recognition for their work and their support, and maybe bringing them in for a meal, presenting them with a small award to recognise some of the help they've been given. Why are we going to do this? Well, we want them to feel a bit more connected to the Chamber, so when our members do have any problems, whether it be the NRA or the Ministry of Finance, they feel that they have a bit more of a connection and maybe hopefully be a bit more attentive. We also met with the National Investment Board briefly through the Breakfast Club. We'll be meeting with them again, and hopefully I want to ask them to come in, the professor, to come and speak to the membership in a couple of months. Other chambers, where we have the the American Business Council of Sierra Leone, chambers who I've reached out to all of them. We're also lucky enough to have a few members who are also members within CAPA and the Chamber of Mines. We have already reached out to the Breakfast Club Africa, and we have some members who are close allies with the Employers Federation. So what I'm going to ask them all to do is when they do meet to give some brief feedback, and if there's any relevance to the membership, we'll make sure that's circulated. Then internationally, well, we're looking at how to improve our social media, making connections with the United Kingdom's Chamber of Commerce, the British High Commission, and also including and increasing our presence on LinkedIn. So finally, in the interest of keeping this short, action. What actions are they? Well, I want to break it down into kind of either completed or partially complete, immediate actions, short, medium, and long term. So what have we completed? Well, we've done the exec committee leads, we've reached out to BMOs, connected with NIMB, we're speaking to all the membership. I've still got a few people to talk to, and we are recruiting for the executive coordinator. In terms of things we're immediately going to do is a monthly update in the WhatsApp group. Short term, we'll be looking at Twitter, websites, LinkedIn, etc. We'll be looking at kind of bringing our relationship with Invest Salone a little bit closer, looking at that fellow awards, and I will be sending out a members survey. Now, the survey should only take a couple of minutes, but it's really important to understand kind of some very basic things. One, how much employees do you, Sierra Leoneans do you employ in Sierra Leone, and what kind of revenue, without getting into too specifics. The reason being is when we do go and speak to government partners and government agencies, to say that we represent a workforce of X amount gives us a little bit more gravitas. Medium term, we're going to outline our support to British investment in Sierra Leone. Women in leadership, I'll be working with Aminata to come up with some a strategy around that. And then maybe long term, we're looking at more of a diaspora network and how we can reach out to help resource it within our membership. So that's a very brief summary. Obviously, feel free to come back to me. My details are on the WhatsApp group. And yeah, for those of you who attended the other night, it was a great success. Thank you for coming. All the best. Take care.